and the thing is though, in the Atlantic, you got Tampa's not going anywhere.
No.
Friggin' Boston. I mean, they haven't been drafting all that great, but they just always find a way to make that team good. And then you got Florida. At some point, they're gonna make a move. They've tried to, but they got Spencer Knight coming up. They got freaking, they had a great draft this past year. And then you look at Ottawa and Montreal are kind of like the same situation as the Rangers and the Devils. Where they've been mediocre, but they've been stockpiling picks. I think the only team that's really, and then Buffalo. I don't know about Buffalo. I mean, they got a lot of issues, but they've actually been improving. It's going to be crazy. The West to me is freaking like nothing. No disrespect to the West, but the East is where it's at. Like even the Maple Leafs, for all their problems that they had this year, they still have those 4 freaking machines, point producing machines, and that goal to the defenseman Riley. So it makes it fun, man. It's gonna be like the league is gonna get younger. The league's gonna get a lot younger. You're gonna see a lot less. It's gonna be. I used to say it's a joke. I used to say that 30 is. I used to say that 30 is the new 40. Where if you're 30 years old, you're a freaking graybeard. It might be like 25 is the new freaking 40. That's how good the league is with how good the young players are, at least.
Yeah. Listen, Steve, we appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule and stuff, and talking almost 2 hours of prospects and stuff with us. It kind of gives all our fans and stuff kind of insight on these players and what they can look forward to moving forward. And we appreciate you coming on and taking some time out of your night and whatnot. And we'll be sure to have you on again. We really appreciate it.
Oh, guys, anytime. Listen, if I'm talking to you guys, put it this way. If I'm talking to you guys and I'm not sending you a DM or a text like, hey, let's wrap this up, I got to go, that means that I was enjoying the conversation. So likewise, it was very enjoyable. And anytime you guys want, make myself available. Too easy.
Yeah, we've done pretty well because we got a hold of you to come on, and then we're trying. Actually, I was saying to Joe because I was actually surprised he messaged me back because I know Cam Jansen does his podcast with Andy Strickland, and I asked Cam to come on our podcast, and he agreed to, but it's just finding time to do it and stuff like that. But he agreed to come on, so that's kind of another thing we got coming up here soon.
Good for you guys. Well, like I said, just let me know, and I anytime I have a chance to support fellow podcasters and bloggers, I'll never say no.
I always say, it's always great to branch out, especially you are starting to build your brand with the followers on Twitter, and I like to try and get, our podcast, out there as much as possible, especially you got the Rangers crowd, you got pretty much everyone around that listens in. Are there any other things that, you should let us know coming forward for your blog and everything that you want to wrap up?
Well, I have a staff now. So, I have about 7-8 people with me now. Each one covers the league. And so it's going to give me more time to focus more on Europe and the NTDP. They're going to tackle all the North American, the CHLs, the USHLs. I just didn't want to give up the NTDP because it's kind of like my baby. And, but the podcast though, like Twitter for me was always the number one way of getting my message out there. And then I finally woke up and I realized that, Twitter's like such a small percentage of what drives the site traffic and the podcast though, freaking forget about it. And I just decided to do one per team because I was bored. I was just bored with COVID. I was sick and tired of there being no hockey and sick and tired of always talking about the same 10 draft picks that I'm like, you know what? Let me just study all 31 teams and study their off seasons and study their rosters and study the playoffs and the feedback's been phenomenal. It really has been. And so I got the podcast going on. I got the video channel on YouTube doing the highlights. I might start doing live streams. I don't know. I got to get the right equipment. It's going to be busy, man. It's always busy, freaking busy. it's just something that I do to keep myself occupied. That's all it is. The family drives me nuts. They drive me nuts. They're always, I have to go hide in a freaking garage to like, they're always up my ass about everything. I'm actually in Brooklyn now. I came to see my parents to really take a break because and I'm not trying to turn this into a freaking Dr. Phil session, but I mean, I'm like, dude, this is like my busiest time of the year, and they just don't get it. They don't get it. 2 daughters and a wife. They don't get it. Like how this is an important time of the year for me. And I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going someplace else. So, I appreciate you guys having me on. And again, anytime you guys want to chat, talk Devils, talk anything, hit me up. I'll be available.
All right. And for everybody that's going to be listening, at the Draft Analyst on Twitter, that's Steve's Twitter handle, so give him a follow. He obviously won't be disappointed with all the information he gives. So with that, Steve, thanks for coming on, and we appreciate
you for
you joining us, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
And I think that'll do it for another episode of Raising Hell in Jersey. And I'm your host, Jake Wakely.
And I'm the co-host, Jersey Joe, and I wish everyone a wonderful evening. And Jake,
as we always like to say on this podcast, let's go,
Devil.